Here's a look at today's headlines across Houston. Hello, I'm Len Cannon. A community gathered over the weekend to remember a missing mother. Friends, family, and supporters gathering in Brazos County for Nicole Nikki Winder, who's been missing since February. Last seen leaving work before her truck was found burning in Brazos County. Now investigators are working to find leads in this case. Maria Aguilera has more.
Let no harm come to Nikki.
Heads bowed and a prayer for answers. Picking up flyers, car magnets, and information to share for a mother who's still missing. Taking to the streets for Nikki Winder.
Yeah, I was hoping they found her.
I know, us too.
Supporters gathered with one goal.
We are here to advocate for a mother who is not able to advocate for herself right now.
Making sure people saw Nikki's face and her story.
How has this impacted everybody in this community?
I think the impact in the community is the questions that have gone unanswered.
Just days ago, the Brazos County Sheriff's Office confirmed blood found near the FM 974 property where Winder was last seen was hers, and that the amount indicates a serious injury. Hours after she disappeared, February 25th, her white 2025 Chevy truck was found burning at an oil pad site. Detectives say the fire was intentionally set and working to identify a Polaris UTV seen in security video the day she went missing. Those who knew her believe every flyer handed out is another chance for someone to come forward.
It could be that little mustard seed that maybe opens another chapter in this tragedy of Nikki's disappearance.
No tip is too small or irrelevant. We want anybody that has information or thinks that they have information to reach out to our agency.
For many here, the turnout itself was a reminder of the impact Nikki had on others.
Tried to show kindness and love to everybody she met. And I think that really resonates right now, being able to see the impact that she's had on our small community.
Sending a message and a show of support from strangers for a family still waiting for answers. In Bryan, Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News.
Here we are less than 2 weeks away from the first World Cup match in Houston. FIFA execs calling Houston one of the most prepared host cities for this summer's tournament. Troy Kless talking one-on-one with Houston Mayor John Whitmire, getting the latest details on preparations.
The focus during FIFA this summer will be public safety for both Houstonians and travelers.
Whether it's public safety, our infrastructure, our programs, Houston is ready as we've become a destination city.
Mayor Whitmire tells KHOU 11 that FIFA reflects the continuation of what the city has done on a regular basis. There is still construction along places like Polk Street that Mayor Whitmire does not expect to be disruptive.
Public Works certainly uses their good judgment. TxDOT's moving forward, obviously, with the 45 and 59 expansion. But, in the doubling the size of the George Brown is creating some inconvenience.
He's encouraging visitors and Houstonians to be mindful of the traffic patterns and closures. FIFA host committee staff have previously said there will be signs directing people towards Fan Fest around the detours in downtown. The Fan Festival, which is still under construction, will also be surrounded by street closures to make it easier for fans to walk. The burning question: how many people may actually show up to Houston with an expected 500,000 people in town for the tournament?
I think it's to be yet determined how many guests that we enjoy. There's challenges for world travelers here, certainly with Ebola, which is not impacting Houston, but it's impacting folks that would like to leave the Congo.
The world will have its eyes on Houston, still finalizing its preparations.
That was Troy Kless reporting. Monday marks the start of hurricane season, and officials say they've been preparing for this day for the last 6 months, and they're urging everybody else to get ready. Tracy Bragg has more from Galveston.
Whether you're a New York transplant like Christine Diaz.
I was used to blizzards, but I guess this is the melted version of blizzards. It's hurricanes.
Or born and raised in our area, it doesn't take long to learn the significance of June 1st.
Stock up on some drinks and food.
That's a great idea because today marks the official start of hurricane season, and our area knows all too well the devastation a hurricane can leave in its wake.
For us, all year long is hurricane season.
I'm at Galveston Houston County Judge Mark Henry in the county's Emergency Operations Center just steps away from a sobering reminder of why every hurricane season needs to be treated seriously.
We've spent the last 6 months preparing for today. We'll spend the next 6 months responding to any kind of event or storm that may develop and come our way.
He tells me much of that preparation is lining up pre-positioning contracts with outside agencies and companies ready to deploy at a moment's notice. For now, they are keeping their eyes on any storms that develop and keeping in close communication with their neighbors, the National Weather Service.
Unlike other entities who have to wait for a regularly scheduled phone call, we literally walk across the hall and say what's going on and what's the latest update, and we'll have minute-by-minute updates.
That was Tracy Bragg reporting. KHU 11's Hurricane Preparedness Guide is your best tool to be ready for any dangerous storms. Simply scan that QR code on your screen to get access to our guide. Houston's historic Freedmanstown neighborhood celebrating a new chapter in preserving its history. On Sunday, local leaders gathering for a groundbreaking on a new cultural hub. Here's Troy Kless again.
A Sunday celebration you would normally see inside church was held outside with construction hats nearby.
It is also an amazing day to be able to encapsulate all of the folks who are invested in the future of Freedmanstown, who see that this history is worth preserving.
Sharon Fletcher, executive director of the Houston Freedmanstown Conservancy, saying they stand on sacred ground that will be both preserved and developed. The second phase of Rebirth in Action, a restoration project for Freedmanstown, built by some of the first freed slaves in America.
Which includes 3 historical row houses, the construction of a new pavilion, along with the landscape site being completed as well.
The goal is to educate the community and provide it with resources such as a food pantry, because local leaders say the area has become a food desert.
This restoration done in partnership between the Conservancy and the Contemporary Arts Museum of Houston.
Our elders have waited for decades to, get progress and get restoration and preservation of these structures and activity happening on this site. And for this to be coming is like a dream come true.
The goal is for a grand opening in spring 2027. Another reason for the choir to sing in celebration of the future.
People who can see that development and preservation can work together. This particular project is the epitome of what that actually looks like.
In Freedmanstown, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
Historic Freedmanstown. That's a wrap of your Houston headlines. I'm Len Cannon.